I was sipping cold brew on the porch when I heard it, a loud metallic crunch. Karen's SUV reversed straight into my mailbox for the second week in a row. She didn't stop. Just stared through her tinted window, then sped off like nothing happened. My mailbox, leaning like a broken neck, had clearly lost this week's battle. Trina stood beside me, arms crossed. She did it again, Nolan. I nodded slowly. I'd let it slide once. Maybe twice. But this was now something else entirely. Our son, Jonah, watched from the window, concerned. He saw his dad, week after week, replace that mailbox like a punching bag that couldn't punch back. Before we continue, please drop a like and comment below with your country and what time it is right now where you're watching. Whether it's sunrise in Australia, midnight in New York, afternoon in Canada, or evening in France, I want to know. Don't just sit back, tell me where in the world you are. Now, let's dive into the story. The first time she hit it, I assumed it was an accident. The second time, maybe poor driving. But now, this wasn't clumsiness, it was targeted, deliberate destruction. I had reported it to the HOA before. They said it was an unfortunate placement. Karen practically ran the board. I'd get no justice from them. I reviewed the footage from the Ring camera. Sure enough, she glanced toward my house before veering into the box. She was mocking me playing a game. That's when I decided to build the last mailbox she'd ever meet. A steel post, concrete-filled, deep-rooted beast in disguise. I called up Griggs, my old army buddy. We designed it to look ordinary. But underneath? It was a tank in a tuxedo. We buried it 3 feet deep. Reinforced. Legal. Invisible strength beneath polished wood. And when Karen came roaring down the curb again, confident and clueless, her SUV kissed a post that did not forgive. The noise? Beautiful. The damage? Biblical. Karen Paltridge moved into 19 Wicket Lane 2 years ago. She brought monogrammed lawn signs and 5 barking Pomeranians. Within weeks, she was HOA president. She said she wanted to restore standards. In reality, she fined families for chalk drawings and threatened citations for unauthorized wind chimes. Her kingdom ran on fear. I kept to myself at first. Fixed fences, mowed weekly. But when I skipped her required neighbor chili off, I became her favorite target. Mailbox complaints started soon after. She'd smile fake at meetings, correcting grammar and holding votes like courtroom trials. Anyone who disagreed was labeled hostile to neighborhood harmony. Trina once joked, if she could fine us for breathing too loud, she would. I laughed, but the truth behind it stung deeper each day. Karen's SUV, a silver Hydrovenom XT, became a curbside wrecking ball. She parked diagonally, blocked driveways, and reversed like she owned gravity. My mailbox was just her latest target. I had replaced it twice. Bought nicer wood. Installed reflectors. Nothing helped. She kept smashing it, each time a little bolder, a little smugger. HOA rules stated mailbox repairs were homeowner responsibility. But nothing said I couldn't build a stronger one. That loophole became my lifeline. Griggs and I crafted the new post in his workshop. Reinforced steel core, concrete base, aesthetic casing. Unbreakable but indistinguishable. She'd never see it coming. The day it was ready, we installed it quietly. No fanfare. I stood on my porch that evening and whispered to myself, "Let's dance, Karen." Karen's SUV rolled in slow that Thursday morning. I watched from behind my coffee mug. Same time. Same speed. Same smug look behind those oversized sunglasses. She didn't slow down. Didn't hesitate. She swerved just slightly, like always, deliberate. Her bumper crumpled like paper against my steel and concrete masterpiece. The noise echoed through Wicket Lane. A dog barked. Curtains moved. I calmly walked outside, holding my cup like a man watching karma finally deliver. Karen stepped out, red-faced, jaw clenched. "What the hell, Nolan?" she shouted. I just pointed at the perfectly intact mailbox and said, "Everything okay, Karen?" Her front bumper was toast. Cracked paint. Bent grill. She kicked the tire like it would undo her mistake. "You did this on purpose," she hissed. I shook my head. "It's a mailbox, Karen. Just reinforced." Still within HOA code. Want to see the plans? I held out the blueprint folder mockingly. Neighbors were watching now. Dale, the HOA VP, peeked from behind his blinds. Old Mrs. Temple from 23 waved her hand and smirked. Karen demanded Dale intervene. He walked over reluctantly. After examining the mailbox, he shrugged. Looks compliant to me, Karen. Maybe be more careful driving. Karen stormed off as her SUV got towed. I heard the driver mutter, "That's gonna cost you, ma'am." Her face turned crimson. That night, Trina and I toasted with sweet tea. I knew Karen wouldn't let it go. But this time, I wasn't playing defense anymore. I was ready for war. 2 nights later, I woke to a hiss, followed by a pop. Walked outside. My tires had been slashed. All 4. And my porch egged like Halloween revenge. Jonah cried, thinking someone was trying to break in. Trina comforted him while I cleaned shells off the windows. Karen was escalating. But I wasn't surprised. I reviewed the ring cam footage. Black hoodie. Distinct strut. I'd recognize that angry march anywhere. Karen forgot about security cameras. I emailed the footage to Officer Radley, who lived 2 streets down. Off-duty but sharp. He texted back, "That's enough to file charges." Instead, I printed stills. At the next HOA meeting, I waited till open concerns. Then I stood, pulled out the photos, and laid them on the table. She's defacing my property. Slashing tires. Harassing my family, I said calmly. If the board won't act, I'll involve the county. That got everyone quiet. Karen stood and called it fabricated. This is a smear campaign, she insisted. But Dale, now tired of her drama, whispered, "You're not untouchable anymore, Karen." HOA called a special vote. Motion to suspend her presidency pending investigation. For the first time, her crown cracked. She stormed out, shaking. That night, Trina asked, "Is it over?" I shook my head. No. Not until she stops running the neighborhood like it's her kingdom. The queen was dethroned, but not destroyed. I didn't just want revenge. I wanted reform. And that meant exposing every dirty game Karen had played since she arrived on Wicket Lane. By week's end, 5 more neighbors came forward. Broken fences. Falsified citations. Petty fines. All traced back to Karen's reign of pettiness as HOA queen. Trina made brownies and started knocking doors. "We're not starting drama," she'd say. "Just sharing truths." Stories poured out like wildfire. Years of abuse finally spoken. Mr. Brindle from Lot 17 confessed she fined him for mailbox flair because his daughter added a rainbow sticker. Said it disturbed visual consistency. Karen's true legacy was unraveling. Dale scheduled an open forum. People showed up with receipts, literal and emotional. I brought a projector and displayed video clips. She tried to defend herself, claiming neighborhood pride, but her voice cracked. Her allies stayed quiet. Even her loyal dog walker had switched sides. HOA voted. Karen was officially removed. Replaced by Mr. Kraus, retired contractor, father of 4, totally unbothered by bird feeders or lawn gnomes. Her face during the announcement was stone. No apology. Just resentment. She muttered, "You'll regret this," as she stormed off. I believed her. That night, I reinforced the ring camera, added motion lights, and installed a backup trail cam in the hedges. We were done reacting. Trina whispered, "Do you think she'll do something worse?" I nodded. Because she doesn't know how to lose. But she's about to learn. The neighborhood was free, but freedom makes tyrants desperate. And when desperation mixes with pride, it's only a matter of time before something truly ugly happens. 3 nights after the vote, someone spray-painted "Traitor" on our garage. Bright red, drippy, and childish. Trina gasped. Jonah hid in the closet, afraid the mailbox lady was back. I checked the footage. Hooded again. But this time, they weren't alone. 2 silhouettes. One with Karen's same fast, angry stride. The other, her cousin Royce, banned from HOA meetings. They weren't slick. Caught both plates. I called Officer Radley, who arrived that afternoon. "You pressing charges this time?" he asked. I nodded. No more warnings. He smiled. Karen got a citation. Royce was arrested for trespassing. But Karen twisted the story. It's all because I'm a woman with standards, she whined online. She posted on Nextdoor. Claimed I set a trap mailbox to cause damage. Said I was violent, unhinged, and waging a war on suburban women. But screenshots work wonders. Dale replied with ring footage. Neighbors added comments, each sharing their Karen horror story. In under 2 hours, her post had 77 angry replies. She deleted her account. Deleted her HOA group. But the damage? Permanent. Wicket Lane had woken up. Mr. Krause started reforms. Real votes. Transparent finances. Fines reduced. Karen's threats held no weight anymore. But she still lived 3 houses down. Still watched us. That's when I got the letter. She was suing me for vehicular sabotage. Trina laughed out loud. She's really gonna die on this hill? I didn't flinch. I just grabbed the folder labeled Mailbox Construction, City Approved. This battle wasn't ending in court, it was ending with receipts. I showed up to court with Griggs, my welder friend, and a certified engineer. Karen arrived in pearls and rage. Her lawyer looked half exhausted, half embarrassed. She claimed emotional distress. Said I created a malicious device disguised as a mailbox. The judge raised an eyebrow. It's a mailbox, he said flatly. Her lawyer introduced photos of her smashed bumper, demanding damages. I introduced blueprints, city permits, and time-stamped footage of each replacement I'd made. Griggs testified. It's strong. Legal. Fully within residential code. The judge leaned in. You're telling me your SUV hit a legally built mailbox, and you want to sue him? Karen stammered. But it was excessive. Hidden metal. I replied, you don't sue the sidewalk when you trip. Maybe watch where you're driving. The courtroom chuckled. Karen's cheeks went purple. Trina squeezed my hand. Even Jonah high-fived me after the judge dismissed the case. Karen had to pay my legal fees. Plus, she was fined for filing a frivolous suit. Her face when she heard that? Pure deflation. She stormed out. But this time, no one followed. Her cousin stopped calling. Her former allies avoided eye contact. Her power? Vaporized. The new mailbox? Still stood tall. Not a scratch since. Trina wanted to plant flowers around it. I said, sure, but maybe some thorny ones. Still, something told me she wasn't done. Not fully. Karen Paltridge wasn't built to quit. And quiet people like that? Sometimes explode. One morning, I heard the rumble of a truck outside. Thought it was Amazon. But then I saw it. 2 men carrying furniture out of Karen's front door. Jonah pointed. Is Karen leaving? I stared stunned. A for sale sign now stood crooked on her lawn. Handwritten in Sharpie, by owner. No HOA. She was packing everything, fast. No goodbye. No flyers. Just stuff thrown in boxes and duct tape. Like a thief fleeing after a failed heist. Mrs. Temple walked over. Didn't think she'd actually go. I nodded. Guess the street finally wore her down. She grinned. Or your mailbox did. That afternoon, Trina baked cookies again. Goodbye brownies, she called them. I said, you sure we should give her anything? She smiled. Just showing we won. With grace. Karen didn't take the brownies. Slammed the door in Trina's face. But it didn't matter. The moving truck pulled out at 6:47 p.m. exactly. She looked back once. Saw Jonah drawing chalk hearts on our new driveway. Saw me watering my victory roses beside the mailbox. Then she vanished. Krause called a neighborhood gathering that weekend. To celebrate the return of peace. We laughed, shared stories, and voted to remove mailbox citations permanently. HOA wasn't perfect, but it was ours again. No fake rules. No fear. Just people. And one unbreakable mailbox, standing strong in the corner of it all. That night I whispered to Trina, she ran over the wrong mailbox. She replied, no. She ran over the right one. At the wrong house. It's funny how something small, just a mailbox, can tell the whole story. Mine now had a dented bumper mounted beneath it. My silent trophy. Neighbors asked if I'd sell copies. Griggs joked we could start a business, Revenge Box Incorporated. I laughed. But deep down, I kind of liked the idea. Jonah even named it the Bumper Breaker. He painted a cartoon face on it one afternoon. I left it. Karen would have fined us for it. Mr. Krause brought real changes. HOA became human again. Kids played freely. Flags flew. And not a single mailbox was harmed since Karen left. We planted sunflower seeds around it. They bloomed in defiance. Bright yellow soldiers guarding the box she couldn't kill. I kept the court papers in a drawer. And the security footage? Labeled, dated, archived. Just in case she ever returned with another stunt. Sometimes I wonder if she regrets it all. If she drives past Wicket Lane at night, sees her old throne turned into a garden. But I don't dwell long. Because the real win wasn't the bumper. Or the court. Or the mailbox. It was reclaiming peace. For my family, my home, my street. You can't choose your neighbors. But you can choose to stand your ground. Even if it means welding a steel post at midnight. And when someone asks, was it worth it? I smile, point to that mailbox and say, ask her bumper. If you're reading this and you've got a Karen in your neighborhood, one who runs her SUV like a gavel, just know, you're not powerless. You don't need to scream or match crazy with crazy. Sometimes, the strongest message is quiet, legal, solid, and buried deep in concrete. Karen thought she'd break me, humiliate me. She forgot who I was. My name's Nolan Crayfield. I don't run. I build. And I protect what's mine. Jonah's safe now. Trina sleeps soundly. And the whole street, Wicket Lane, learned that courage doesn't always look like fists. Sometimes, it looks like a mailbox that never bends. She'll remember that crunch forever. That bumper crack wasn't just metal, it was consequence. It was every ignored complaint. Every scared neighbor. Every fake fine she ever wrote. The HOA is better now. Stronger. Because someone stood up. Not with fists, but with a plan. Not with rage, but with steel. People still drive slow past our house. Some wave. Some whisper. But all of them respect that post now. I left the dented bumper at the base. As a reminder, you don't mess with Nolan Crayfield. And you don't mess with my mailbox. So if your Karen's coming for you, don't yell. Don't flinch. Just dig deep, weld hard, and wait. Revenge is best served with concrete. And when they hit it, smile. Because that sound? That's justice ringing loud.